Coming up at the 2021 Hyundai World Archery Championships in Yankton, USA, Sarah Lopez goes searching for that elusive first individual world title. And Mr. Perfect is on the hunt for his second world crown. Yankton, USA, on the banks of the famous Missouri River in South Dakota, provided the stunning backdrop for the 51st edition of the Hyundai World Archery Championships. The best compound archers from around the globe would go head-to-head to be named world champion. 14 different countries were represented in the Elite Eights, and in the first of the compound women's quarterfinals, top seed Colombia's Sarah Lopez needed a single arrow shoot-off to get past Sarah Priels of Belgium. She puts it in the 10 ring, but it's outside of the X ring. Low right, Priels. One arrow to beat Lopez. Oh, she's put it into the 10 ring, but you're right, it is just a little bit further out. And what a match we've had here between Lopez and Priels. And Priels gave Lopez a very big scare. The second quarterfinal saw Slovenia's Toyah Ellison knock out the reigning world champion, the Russian Archery Federation's Natalia Avdieva. Toyah Ellison of Slovenia needs just a 9 to make it through to the semi-finals. And she nodded her head. She knew that was going to be a 10. She dropped just 3 points throughout the whole of that quarter-final. A huge amount of pressure on her up against the reigning world champion. But look at the sporting gesture there from Natalia Avdieva, coming over to give Ellison a big hug. And look how happy Toyah Ellison is. She's through to the semi-finals of the World Championships. In the third quarter-final, Jyoti Sureka Venom of India proved too strong for Croatia's Amanda Milnaric. 5 to win. Let's go with that. Oh, she has done it. That's a perfect score of 150 for Jyoti Sureka Venom of India. The Indians have never won a World Championship title, but boy, what a performance from Jyoti Venom. She's through to the semi-finals. The last quarter-final between Mexico's Andrea Becerra and Song Yun-soo of Korea was also decided on a shoot-off. That's drifted out into the 9, and she can't quite believe it. Song has got to maintain her composure here.
First little bit of nerves and shaking.
Oh my goodness me, that's a 9 as well, and the pressure has got to Song after it looked like Becerra was going to crumble. She shot a 9, but it was much closer to the center than Song's, and after a thriller here in Yankton, it's Andrea Becerra of Mexico who makes it through to the semi-finals. India is coming ever closer to securing its first ever title at a World Championship event. And Jyoti Sureka Venom is one of the compound archers leading the charge. We'll see Jyoti Sureka Venom, India at 22 years old, taking on the 24-year-old Turkish athlete, yes, in Boston.
It was my 4th World Championship, the 2019 one in the Netherlands. We had experienced a lot of weather changes in that tournament, maybe because we had rain, we had wind, we had a bright sunny day and everything. In the team matches, we have been into the bronze medal and even in the individual.
The team from India and the 22-year-old Jyoti Sureka Venom.
I really wanted to make it big in the world stage, like winning an individual medal in the world stage means a lot because no Indian women from compound did that.
A 10 or a 9 closer and Venom has got the bronze. Oh, she's got a 10 and she's got the bronze at the World Championships. Amazing stuff.
And at the last, I took 2 bronze medals home, and I was happy. It was my first individual medal at the world stage, and I felt so happy, but I had a few bad experiences in that tournament and I couldn't make it to the final. So I just hope this time I'll not take a chance and I want to be in the finals. I agree it's difficult being in the top level at the world stage, but I feel so happy that I made it again in the consecutive World Championships to the finals. It has been amazing so far, and I'm really looking forward to the final matches ahead. I think I have been consistent in shooting my scores and focusing on my form.
A little bit of a bigger spread. I mean, we're still a great grouping and another perfect score for Venom.
Shooting at 10, like on and on, I think it's an addiction. When you feel confident that you have executed the right thing and it's going to be an extra 10, I think that makes me quite a bit exciting. Talented, of course, yes, because without talent, no one can come this far and sustain such a long period. So I do feel I'm talented, not only talent, but I also feel that you have to have some luck along with your hard work to be here and to win medals. And also I have been with great team members who have been always so supportive, coaches and the staff.
अब तो आप पूछ रही हो, अब आवाज निकल रही होगी अब तो।
I think everyone who is here in top 8 are really great because they have done an amazing job. So that is the reason they are in the top 8. And I know I have to face a lot of, top archers. I think it gives a great new experience. Bronze was a big boost to my confidence actually, that I can make it to the world's podium. And I'm really looking forward to change the color of my medals.
The first of the semi-finals was between Colombian Sara Lopez and Toyah Ellison of Slovenia. Despite being a 5-time Hyundai Archery World Cup final winner, Lopez was still looking for her first World Championship title. And the Colombian was in fine form. She didn't drop a point in the first 4 ends to edge ahead. Pressure starting to build now for Sara Lopez on a perfect score at the moment. On the line will count as a 10. It's a 120 for her out of a possible 120. There was no let up in the final end either, and Lopez booked her place in the final. A 150 out of 150 from Sara Lopez is what she needed to make it through to the World Championship final. Her first appearance in a World Championship final here in Yankton in the USA. Sara Lopez of Colombia needed a perfect score to do it, to beat Toyah Ellison. India's Jyoti Sureka Venom and Mexico's Andrea Becerra met in the second semi-final to decide who would meet Sara Lopez in the gold medal match. And it was the Indian archer who brought the greater consistency. Another chance for increasing lead, and that's exactly what Venom does. Back into the 30s, back into the perfect score, and it's 89 plays 87 in favour of Jyoti Sureka Venom of India. Andrea Becerra stayed in the contest right to the end, but it was Venom who triumphed. And 9 required for the win from Venom. There it is, another perfect score, her third of the match. And Jyoti Venom of India has scored a 148, dropping just 2 points in her semi-final, and she will go on to contest the gold medal here in Yankton, trying to claim India's very first world archery title. Mexico's Andrea Becerra still had a shot at earning a podium place at the Hyundai Archery World Championships. She was taking on Slovenia's Toyah Ellison in the bronze medal match. Needs a 10 to confirm the win. Puts it in the 9. Now this is not certain. We now go down to a measure for the bronze medal here at the 2021 World Championships. Very difficult to tell from the angle that we were at.
It's a tie!
It's amazing. It is confirmed as a tie, and Ellison takes a very deep breath here. Toyah Ellison will shoot first for Slovenia. That is a low 9. Low and left. This one may have evaded her. Andrea Becerra, the 21-year-old from Mexico, has a big chance. She's holding on.
Such a long hold.
Oh my goodness me, it's a low right 9. Now, this is very close indeed. Very, very close. Has Ellison done this with one of the worst arrows she's shot all day? Or is it going to be Becerra, who's looked nervy throughout?
I think they're getting the calipers out. They're going to measure it. This is why they changed the target faces. They've got a clean face. They can measure from that little spot, that little spider in the middle, and up to the arrow, and really confirm who is the closest. But oh my goodness.
Well, you know what? I think just from that view there, I think it's going to be Becerra who's going to get crowned with the bronze medal here in Yankton. And boy, what a result for her. We wait for confirmation, but after nervy performances, it is confirmed. Andrea Becerra of Mexico is the 2021 World Championship bronze medal. The women's individual compound gold medal match at the 2021 Hyundai World Archery Championships in Yankton, USA, was between India's Jyoti Venom and Colombia's Sara Lopez.
Colombia, Sara Lopez.
Well, here it is. They are down to 2. It's time for the compound women's individual gold medal match. Who is going to claim the world title? Well, there's a story to tell on both sides of the shooting line here. First up, Sara Lopez of Colombia, the 26-year-old world number 3, is the 5-time Hyundai Archery World Cup final champion, including the last one in Moscow in 2019. She's the reigning Pan American silver medalist from Monterrey and the reigning Pan Am Games champion. But she's only ever won a bronze at the World Championships, going for her first world title. She is up against Jyoti Venom of India, the 25-year-old world number 13. Got a bronze at the last outing at the World Championships in Den Bosch and was a bronze medalist at the Asian Championships, going for India's first ever world title. Lopez will get the gold medal match underway.
Aiming and full tight. Yes. Good job.
Very different styles, these two archers. Sara shooting the trigger very quick, not going to give Jyoti much time to reset and get up there again.
Yes. Full tight. Start.
9, we have draw.
Super entra.
Buen contacto y sigo en línea. Pues, perfecto.
10.
Finishing with a 29, 1 drop point, but that
Okay.
is okay because Venom has also dropped one. Pressure on the Indian here. And she's dropped another point, a 28 for her in the first end. 28 plays 29, mini advantage for Sara Lopez. Well, for once, as uncomfortable as it is sitting on the fence, well, for you it must be, I have to agree that this one is very tight to call. The pressure of over 1 billion people on JT Venom, first world title India looking for, but all the pressure will be coming from Sara Lopez herself, going for her first world title. Venom trails as we go into the second end.
Yes.
Great shot. Back on the timing. Looking really positive. Fast shot again from Sara, but another 9.
Aim. Tight shot pura tight shot. Late नहीं करना.
Setup looked good. She was holding on, but looked solid. Looked left.
Lopez gains the lead by 1 point.
चल. Aiming pura. Yes. Tight shot.
Well, an opportunity was there for Venom, but she didn't capitalise. Finishes on a 57, and Lopez does her job and finishes with another 29, but remains 1 point ahead. 58 plays 57 in the compound women's individual gold medal match here at these 2021 World Championships. Well, both of them have shown a little bit of fallibility here, perhaps for the first time today. Is seeing any hints? I mean, is the speed of the shooting from Lopez going to affect things as we continue on?
I mean, it's possible just because of the different styles of JT Venom just taking longer on her shots, hanging on that back wall. You know, Sara's shooting very quickly. She's going to reduce the recovery time, but they're both shooting so well. It's on a knife edge, this one.
Prepare करो. लंबी सांस लेके.
Time for end number 3 here at the 2021 World Championships Women's Individual Compound here in session number 1 on Compound Saturday. We're going to be crowning a new world champion at the moment. Venom from India is trailing by 2.
Yeah, the clock just didn't change, so after that shot was made, it didn't switch over. Didn't face Sara. One more shot, straight in the 10.
Yes. Full tight. Okay.
It's a bit left, isn't it? A little bit high, just in the sight.
Ready रहो. वो जल्दी शॉट निकालती है.
Muy bien, perfecta.
10 points.
चलो. पूरा एम लेकर. Full tight. Yes. Okay.
So another 29, but Venom will see that as another drop point, especially seeing as Lopez has landed her first perfect. So an 88 plays 86, and the Colombian is more than halfway through this gold medal match and is 2 points ahead of her Indian opponent in search of her first World Championship title as an individual. Anything in particular that you're seeing from Venom that's different from the quarterfinals and semi-finals?
I think it's just the weight of, you know, what is at stake here. I mean, she generally looks solid, she's got good form, but you can just see a little bit of the nerves creeping in, a little bit of inconsistency on the timing. We've had some, you know, normal issues there for perhaps 5-6 seconds full shot breaks. We've had some faster ones this time. She's just got to stick with that normal process.
World Archery Championships of Mexico City. As a junior, he was able to win first place in teams in both Yankton's World Archery Youth Championships in 2015 and Wuxi China's World Archery Youth Championships in 2013.
Time for end number 4 here in Yankton. Gold medal up for grabs. Jyoti Venom of India trailing Sara Lopez of Colombia by 2 points. And straight into the X ring for the Indian to put pressure on Lopez.
Straight back at you. The timing of these shots.
Yes.
9.
High left again, consistency with the error.
Focadita. Contacto y sigo en línea. Solamente soy. Muy bien.
9.
Didn't look happy with that and it broke. She knew it. Maybe easing off a bit of the pressures. Dropping low.
Another 9 for Venom, a 28 for her. And despite Lopez not taking advantage of the first one, you can't see that happening 2 times in a row. And we are straight back in the 10 for Lopez, and that gap is become a chasm now. 3 points, and the Archers just have 3 arrows left each. We're at the end of the 4th, and Sara Lopez of Colombia is on the brink of claiming her first individual World Championship title. Nikki, 3 arrows left, 3 points the difference. Of course, 3 nines from Sara Lopez is possible, but it's not very likely, is it?
I mean, anything is possible, especially under these conditions, like the pressure they're under, both so desperate to get their first world title. Josie for a country, you know, for India to finally get on top of the podium, but Sara, 5-time Hyundai World Cup final champion, she wants this so bad. This is the last thing in her medal collection she hasn't got.
Three in it on the scoreboard, 3 arrows left for both the Archers. Will it be 3rd time lucky for Colombia against India here in Yankton? Jyoti Sareka Venom shoots first in the 5th and final end of this gold medal match. That's all she can do, put the pressure on Lopez, who was leading by 3. Make that 2 now. And that was a pretty wild shot by her standards.
Gotta keep that mind under control now. So much at stake.
Another long hold from Venom. She don't look particularly happy, but it's in the 10 ring. Pressure back over to the shooting line for the Colombian, and she's corrected that error, and look at the confidence, pulling her final arrow straight away. Venom, nothing left for her to do but put another 10 down. She does just that and gets a perfect 30 to finish with a 1-4-4, but as you can see, a 9 is all that's required from Sara Lopez to claim her first individual world title, and she does it with great style. A 1:46 for her, and straight away the emotions erupt from the Colombian. She has finally reached the pinnacle at the World Championships, and that's what it means to Sara Lopez.
No, yo la verdad no creo lo que está pasando. El día de ayer fue tan increíble como el de hoy y siento que suma una medalla más al país. Este es un título de todo mi equipo y estoy muy feliz porque lo soñé hace mucho tiempo. Siempre que ponía todo mi esfuerzo en hacerlo, las cosas no me salían, y cuando vine con toda la tranquilidad, las cosas se me dieron por triple. Entonces estoy muy contenta y muy agradecida con todo mi equipo.
So the competition is done and dusted here. Lopez top of the pile from Venom and Becerra, and that is the final positions for our top 12 athletes.
In the compound women's team final, Colombia were taking on India.
And Sara Lopez, Alejandra Esqueno and Nora Valdez proved just too strong. A 6 for the world title for Colombia in the compound women's team event at these World Championships. And she bangs it into the 9 to finish off, hugs all around. A 2:29 for Colombia is enough for them to take the gold medal here in Yankton. The same two countries were up against each other in the mixed team final, and it was the same outcome. Colombia with the upper hand over India once again.
Estás abriendo en 26. Mucho tiempo, solo zona. Espérela, espera el otro tiempo, monta y espera. Hay mucho tiempo, 20 segundos.
It's on the line for a 10 and a 1:54 call for Colombia. They take the compound mixed team gold medal. Sara Lopez and Daniel Munoz from India's Jyoti Venom and Abhishek Verma. Congratulations to Colombia, commiserations, and yet another 2-year wait for a world title for India. But Colombia are the new world champions. In the compound men's team final, the hosts USA were facing Mexico, and Braden Gelantine, James Lutz and Chris Schaff were always in control. One shot left in the bag. It's Braden Gelantine to take the final bow before the Americans take to the top of the podium in the compound men's team, and he finishes with a 30 for the USA to win the world title in the compounds men team division. 226 to 211 against Mexico, who suffered a miss in the final end, but to be honest, it made no difference. World number 2 Gelantine, world number 3 Schaff and world number 4 Lutz were just too strong for Becerra, Hidalgo and Oliveira, and the USA are the world champions. The first of the compound men's quarterfinals at the 2021 Hyundai World Archery Championships saw 18-year-old Matthias Fullerton of Denmark squeeze past Jean-Philippe Bouche of France. .144 is the target, a 10 required to make it through to the semi-finals for Matthias Fullerton. And he's hit the 10. It's his first 30 as well in this match, and that is a 1:45 victory for Matthias Fullerton of Denmark. He's in to the World Championship semi-finals. In the second quarter-final, Austria's Nico Venner proves too strong for Mikael Becerra of Mexico. Unless something terrible happens here, Nico Venner is going into the semi-finals at these World Championships and finishes with a brilliant score, dropping just 2 points through his 15 arrows. 4 perfects in a row in ends 2 through to 5. And a warm handshake from Mikael Becerra of Mexico for the Austrian, who goes into the semi-finals here in Yankton. The third quarter-final saw former world champion Canadian Christopher Perkins take on 20-year-old world youth champion Robin Yatmar from Estonia, and there was very little to separate the two archers. Another one he didn't look happy with, and there is an opportunity for Robin Yatmar, a 10 to make it through to the World Championship semi-finals, and it is a 10 for Robin Yatmar. He trailed throughout the match, but he's done just enough. You need to be in the lead after 15 arrows, and that is exactly what Robin Yatmar has done. He's made it through to the World Championship semi-finals here in Yankton. The last quarter-final would see one big name leaving the competition early. India's Abhishek Verma was taking on Mike Schlusser of the Netherlands, and it was Mr. Perfect who came out on top. 10 for the win and a place in the semi-finals for Mike Schlosser, who's dropped 2 points in one arrow, but he's banged that last arrow straight into the 10. Finishes on a 148, but crikey, that first arrow in the fifth end was a big surprise for everyone, including Mike Schlosser, but he's done enough to make it through to the semi-finals here in Yankton. He's beaten Abhishek Verma 148 to 147. More than 300 archers started these World Championships. Very few made it to the arena, and those who did discovered it's a very different environment once you get there.
So most archers are really used to shooting on a flat archery field, but this beast behind me is a whole different animal. So come with me and I'll take you into the venue. So this area here is the staging area where the athletes are going to stay while they're waiting to head onto the finals venue. I feel like when you're waiting here, you definitely feel the nerves and the anticipation and the excitement. You can hear the crowd, you can see the VIP area, and you get a little bit of glimpse of the stadium, but it's still hidden. So here they're gonna give you a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. So we actually don't get to practice on the venue. When the archers go out there, that will be the first arrows that they shoot out in the venue. So they have no warm-up, no practice, and they're going out there cold. So when I walk in and I step on the line, the first things that I'm gonna look for in a venue are obviously the target, but from there, I'm gonna notice where the screens are so I can see my arrows, as well as the windsock, which is incredibly important in a finals venue. We're also going to notice where the clocks are, because we're gonna need to know the clocks so we know when we can shoot as far as the alternating arrows go. Now the other thing that's different is when you're on a flat field, it's very easy to read the wind and it comes from any direction. But as you can see, there's different things that block the wind or give the wind channels to come around and make it a little bit more difficult. Sometimes we'll feel the wind harder on us, but because we have so much blocking it versus being on an open field, our arrows may actually drift less in the finals venue. And so that's something that you really have to learn quickly because you want to minimize any missed points early on in the match. So the first arrow is incredibly important because we need to use that as a tracer arrow. If you need to adjust your sight, being from here, from the practice venue, that's the arrow that's gonna help you get that adjusted quickly. And so I think it's so important that an archer's first arrow is one of their best arrows because they need that to quickly adjust and minimize any points they may drop later in the match. It's definitely different shooting in front of crowds. It definitely makes it more exciting. You hear the noise, you hear the people cheering, and again, you're kind of trying to focus out, but every once in a while when that special chant or you hear someone's voice that you recognize kind of shine through the crowd, a lot of the times it really helps reset you and you're like, okay, I can do this, I've got this, they're here supporting me, let's make it happen. Obviously, shooting for the USA when you're in a finals venue, like the USA chant is something that you definitely want to hear. USA! 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 So archery in the arena is not just for spectators in the stands. There's always cameramen, camera crew, there's cameras on an arm that are out in front of you. So that's another element that you have to learn to be comfortable with and kind of tune out and not focus on that while you're shooting on the shooting line. When you're in the finals venue, your focus is so small and your groups are so tiny that you don't even see this out here. You're focused on such a small area of the target that you tune this out and you stay focused on what it is you're trying to hit. So here we're actually at the targets, and this is where all the magic happens. So as an archer, you never actually get to come down here because someone's actually there and they pull your arrows for you during the match. This is going to speed up that process and it's very different from when we qualify the rest of the week. During the week, we actually walk, pull, and score our own arrows. The competitors are doing the scorecards, and it takes a bit of time in between. In the finals venue, we want it to be as quick as possible, so we have runners that come down, they actually score the arrows, and then the runners run the arrows back every other end. That way archers can shoot the same arrows, speed up the process, and they don't have to walk back and forth. So we actually get to pick our own agent that comes down and scores our arrows and then sends our arrows back. So with Team USA, we have a rule that if there's an arrow that hit outside where we would want, they usually flip that arrow upside down just so we can give it a little bit of extra attention and check it when we get back. As you can see, the target is not very big, but when you walk into a finals venue, you see that distance between you and the target. That 10 ring looks smaller than ever. It's very interesting when you walk into a finals venue how much smaller it looks versus when you're out on the normal field. One, being in a finals venue and that added pressure is definitely going to make scoring high more difficult, but then you throw the wins into the mix and that makes it very challenging. So to see people come out in a finals with wind like this and score high is just so impressive.
In the first compound men's semi-final at the 2021 Hyundai World Archery Championships in Yankton, USA, Austria's Nico Venner was taking on Matthias Fullerton of Denmark, and the Austrian managed to edge ahead in the third end. Seven great arrows in a row for Nico Venner, and that's the second perfect from him for an 88. He is definitely going to be at least on level terms at the end of the third. He actually takes the lead because that's a 29 from Matthias Fullerton, who drops him now to an 87. The young Dane never quite managed to claw his way back into the match, and Venner eventually booked his place in the final. Just an 8 is required for the win for the Austrian. And there is the outpouring of emotion, his third perfect 30, and a 1-4-7 for Nico Venner sees the Austrian make it through to the World Championship final here in Yankton. It will be a bronze medal playoff for Matthias Fullerton, but the Austrian will be going for gold a little bit later here in Yankton. The second semi-final was another all-European affair as Mike Schlosser of the Netherlands faced Estonia's Robin Yatmar. He wasn't quite perfect, but Mike Schlosser had already opened up a very healthy lead after 9 arrows. After a curious couple of 9s in the last end, Mike Schlosser is back on a perfect 30. And has extended his lead by 2. Yatmar finished strongly, but it wasn't enough to unsettle Schlosser, who eased through to the final. Schlosser needing a 6, gets a 9 for a 29 finish, and a 144 to make it through into the World Championship final. The bronze medal match was a tight affair between Matthias Fullerton and Robert Yatmar. They couldn't be separated after 5 ends. Who is going to get the compound men's individual bronze medal here at the 2021 Hyundai World Archery Championships? Matthias Fullerton and Robin Yatmar with a single arrow shoot-off to decide.
Got rid of it already.
9 points.
Right 9, big opportunity. Needed a 10 to draw level in 4 of the 5 sets. Yatmar and has succeeded. And he's hit the 10 in the shoot-off here, and that has taken Robin Yatmar to the 2021 World Archery Championships bronze medal. What a fabulous match it was, though. Hats off to Matthias Fullerton. The 18-year-old played his part, and Robin Yatmar's sister Liselle there, absolutely in floods of tears of happiness. Her brother has just made it onto the World Championship podium. The compound men's individual gold medal match at the 2021 Hyundai World Archery Championships in Yankton, USA promised to be something special. Underdog Nico Venner of Austria was up against the favourite, the world #1, Mike Schlosser of the Netherlands.
Not the start he was after.
Yeah, the conditions are pretty settled, aren't they? Just goes to show that the nerves can get to even so perfect. Yep.
I feel like he's had an upgrade. Is that perfect? It's Mr. Perfect.
I'll come back to that. I'll come back to that. I'll come back to that. Venner not taking advantage there. I mean, the wind has just started to pick up again, and you can see from the trees in the background, it's not steady. I just don't like that.
Toyah.
29 in their first is a good score for most people. There's a 29 for Nico Venner, so the pair of them have matched each other.
Here to halftime score, we'll find out. Score is tied at 29 points each. Mike Schlosser prepares to shoot.
So we go into end number 2 and it's Schlosser to shoot first again.
Just a tiny, tiny little observation. His left eye just started to close as the shot went off. Don't know if that had any impact on him at all, but so close. But it's going to be a 9.
Marked for a measure. That's how close it is. Schlosser back in the centre and a quicker shot as well.
And changing his eyes, fixed on the target.
Yeah, that one marked clearly as a 9. Then you can see the yellow target between the arrow and the line for the 10, which Schlosser back in the centre of the target for another 29 and a 58 out of 60. Maximum here for Venner is technically 58, but only with a 10 here and a measure going in his favour on that first arrow. Gets the 10. Now it's about the measure. I think this could be a very critical one, because not because of the score, but because of the effect on the confidence.
Absolutely, at this stage, you know, every point is critical, and it's a real mental game. Obviously, who's going to shoot first, and they drop points against Mr. Perfect or so perfect. I think it's been called a 9.
XX9.
Well, that was Schlosser's target. XX9. And wait for confirmation here. There you go, Nicky, spot on as always. 9-9-10 for Nico Venner. So a 1-point lead for Mike Schlosser. Now, Venner just needs to hold his nerve here, because he's seen Schlosser drop a couple of 9s in the first 2 ends. Just needs to stay on his game and ignore what Mike Schlosser is doing and bang his arrows, as many as he can, into that 10 ring. Start of the third, and it will be the Austrian to shoot first.
He's just been so unlucky, like not far out at all.
Yep, all the luck on target number 2. Holding on a bit longer.
Looked way more solid, didn't it? Held still, broke nice, good timing.
Chance again for Venner. If he can put this into the 10, puts a bit of pressure on Mike Schlosser.
Came off.
10 points.
I have a nervy Nikki Hunt sitting next to me. Another 9 from Mike Schlosser, a 28 from him, and the pair are all square on 86 points. Now, at what point does the mindset change for these two athletes? On the one hand, Mike Schlosser, well, he can dig deep on bags of experience and correct this, but he might be thinking, ooh, crikey, that's a few more 9s than I'm used to. On the other side, you've got Nico Venner, who's thinking to himself, hey, I didn't start so well, but it wasn't too bad, and look at me, I'm a level with Mike Schlosser. We've got 6 arrows left. World title at stake.
Yeah, I mean, all you can do as an archer is try and keep a lid on those thoughts. Just try and deflect them away. You know, it's normal, natural for them to occur, but you've got to stay in the present. You've got to stay in the now. You can't be thinking about what if, can I win this? Can I, as soon as you start visualising yourself on that podium at this point, it's not a good idea. Yes, you want a year of work more looking at this World Championships, visualising yourself there, but all that work's done arrow by arrow now.
Well, I understand the thought process. I'd suggest it's easier said than done, because whatever's going on here, Schlosser's come into this as the favourite. He knows that. Venner knows that. And Schlosser now finds himself a point down after a measure. And the pressure has just switched sides. Venner has a point to play with here.
Yeah, that first arrow on the left there, the last end got marked up to a 10, giving him the lead.
Very much advantage Nico Venner here. Another 10 for the Austrian. A 29 for Mike Schlosser puts him on a 115, but could be a 2-point lead here for Schlosser, for Venner, if he gets another perfect. Just into the 9, so matching Schlosser. A 116. Well, what a turnaround that markup has made in the third end. I mean, Nikki, we didn't see that coming, but the change of score happened right at the beginning, so both athletes knew.
Yep, they would have been aware of that. It was just that first arrow Nico shot in the third end, like you say, to the left. It was just marked up. Big difference, point ahead. And he had that opportunity to capitalise then on that last arrow, but shot a 9 to equal that end with Schlosser 29 apiece.
Well, we go into the 5th and final end here, and I couldn't tell you how strange this is. After a mark-up in the third, the Austrian 24-year-old, world number 28, Nico Venner, finds himself 1 point up against the favourite, Mike Schlosser, the world number 1. Schlosser to shoot first. 3 arrows to decide the 2021 world title. That's all Schlosser can do, put the pressure on here and hope Venner drops the ball.
The hold a bit of shaking. Straight in the X.
I'm not sure he can believe the position he has put himself in here, and it just got a little bit better With a 9 from Schlusser, he can open things up here.
Looking so good.
This is incredible. A big, deep breath there from Nico Venner of Austria. Longer hold from Schlusser. He's pulled it into the 9. Now there is a huge chance here. An 8 for the Austrian to win. Nico Venner on the verge of a massive result. What a finish! 3 X's for a perfect 30. The second one of the match. And Nico Venner of Austria is the 2021 Hyundai World Archery Champion in the compound men's individual. He's become the first Austrian to take this title. Gets a warm hug from his opponent, Mike Schlosser. But what a result. I can't quite believe it myself. But having seen it firsthand, I can tell you that confirmation is there that Nico Venner of Austria is the new world champion.
I'm speechless about this. I was shooting today. I don't have words for it. It was just amazing. It was all good. It was just amazing today on the field. I enjoyed every minute here. It was so fun to shoot here and to be world champion again. It feels so awesome to put all the effort which I made. So it's really thanks to my family, to my father and all the others which support me all the time.
That does conclude the men's tournament, and here are the final rankings. Matthias Fullerton losing out in the semi-finals, and that is our top 12. Nico Venner, the first Austrian to take this title. Yankton, USA provided a wonderful stage for the 2021 Hyundai World Archery Championships. We saw Austria's Nico Venner take the compound men's individual gold, and Sara Lopez finally added the World Championship title to her already impressive list of achievements, as well as another 2 team golds in an incredible performance. Join us next time for the 2021 Hyundai Archery World Cup final right here in Yankton, USA.